Hi, my name is Irfan Çetin, and today I'm going to talk about Romeo and Juliet by Shakespeare. I'll start with talking about the synopsis, and then I'll talk about the characters and themes, and then finally I want to talk about some interesting lines that really affected me uh, in the play. So the synopsis is here. The prologue of Romeo and Juliet calls the title characters star-crossed lovers, and the stars do seem to conspire against these young lovers. So this star-crossed lovers line is mentioned by the chorus at the beginning of the play. So Shakespeare uh, likes to use the chorus because since this is a tragedy, and I think he just tries to uh, be loyal to the ancient Greek theater tragedies. And Romeo is a Montague and Juliet is a Capulet. Their families are enmeshed in a feud, so uh, these two people's families are enemies to each other. But the moment they meet, when Romeo and his friends attend a party at Juliet's house in disguise, the two fall in love and quickly decide that they want to be married. A friar secretly marries them, and this friar is Romeo's friend, and hoping to end the feud. And so, yes, the friar, when Romeo tells the friar that, hey, uh, last night I was in this party uh, and I saw Juliet. She's a Capulet, and I fall in love with her. And friar says, hey, this could be a chance to stop the war between two families. And so so he marries them. But Romeo and his companions almost immediately encounter Juliet's cousin Tybalt, who challenges Romeo. So Tybalt, in fact, sees Romeo at the party, and he's very furious, and he wants to attack him there right away. But Mr. Capulet stops him. Hey, I don't want any problem tonight, so just let him go. But Tybalt doesn't forget this event, so when he sees Romeo, so he challenges him for a duel, and Romeo says this to Tybalt. Tybalt, the reason that I have to love you. So he cannot say that I married your cousin, so we are now relatives. He cannot say that. But he tries to say that, hey, I cannot do anything to I cannot harm you, do any harm to you because he cannot say that I married your cousin. Anyway, so when Romeo refuses to fight, Romeo's friend Mercutio accepts the challenge and is killed. And this is a sad event, and uh, because I think Romeo tries to stops them from fighting, and then Tybalt finds a chance. So when Romeo tries to interfere between the two guys, so uh, he can uh, stab his sword. And Mercutio, before dying, he says, "A plug, oh, both your houses." So he says, uh, "I'm dying because of these two families. So uh, I curse your two families." So Romeo, because Mercutio was his only real friend, so Romeo then kills Tybalt. And the Prince of Verona, so he's like a governor, uh, says Romeo is banished. So Romeo should leave the city and he should go to another place. He spends that night with Juliet and then leaves for Mantua. And this is Friar Lawrence's idea. Go to Mantua, and I'll get in touch with you whenever there's a good chance for you to return. Juliet's father forces her into a marriage with Count Paris. So this is another story. Uh, in fact, Juliet's father doesn't want her to marry at a young age. So this is when Count Paris wants to marry her. So her father says that she hadn't she hasn't seen the change of 14 years. So this says that she isn't even 14. So she's like 13 and she's gonna turn her 14 in a couple of months. And but seeing that, and Paris says there are people at her age married and happy. So and they are even mothers now. So seeing that Paris will not fall back from his idea of uh, getting married with Juliet. So the father says, Paris, get her heart. So and uh, but Juliet refuses. So Juliet's father forces her into a marriage with Count Paris. To avoid this marriage, Juliet takes a potion given her by the friar. So the friar's uh, plan is like this. So take this potion. So they're gonna think that you're dead. You're not gonna breathe. You'll look pale. You won't. They won't feel your heartbeat. So they're gonna think that you're dead. And while you were under this effect of this potion, I'm gonna send my message to Romeo, and he'll come back, and he'll revive you. He's gonna kiss you, just like in the story of Sleeping Beauty. He's gonna kiss you, and you'll just wake up, and the two families say, "Oh, these two are meant for each other." So win-win. So the problem is the plan doesn't go well. Uh, One of Romeo's friend or family member, Balthazar, sees Juliet's dead body and runs to Romeo to give this bad news. And whenever Romeo hears about it, he comes back to Verona. So, uh, Friar Lawrence's messenger, Friar John, was it John? I don't remember now. So he cannot see Romeo. So Romeo comes, but before coming, he finds a guy who's making uh, poisons, deadly poisons, and he buys uh, a poison apothecary. So next to Romeo's Juliet's body, seeing that she's dead, and he drinks the poison and he dies. Juliet wakes up, seeing that Romeo's dead. She commits to suicide. So they are both dead next to each other. So this is the tragedy part of it. Their deaths appear finally to end the void. The final words of Prince is very impressive. He says, "All are punished." So both families are punished. There is one important thing. Uh, when he comes to see her dead body, he encounters with Paris, and they fight. And Romeo kills Paris too before drinking the poison and committing a suicide. So Tybalt dies, Paris dies, and then the 2 lovers, Romeo and Juliet, dies. So this is a tragedy in many meanings. So if we go to the characters in the play, there's Romeo, in fact, I've mentioned about the characters. But Montague, his father, Lady Montague, his mother, Benvolio, uh, their kinsmen, Abram and Balthazar, serving men, and the Capulet family, Juliet and her father, Lady Capulet, her mother, nurse to Juliet, Tybalt, kinsman to the Capulets, Petruchio, Tybalt's companion, Capulet's cousin, and Samson, Gregor, and Peter, they are serving men and other serving men. Escalus, Prince of Verona, uh, like today's governor, so whatever he says is the rule. Paris, the prince's kinsman and Juliet's tutor. Mercutio, the prince's kinsman and Romeo's friend. Oh, he dies too. So uh, Paris's page, Friar Lawrence, Friar John, apothecary, 3 or 4 citizens, 3 musicians, 3 watchmen, chorus, which plays a very important role, as I mentioned before, because at the beginning of the play, chorus says what's gonna happen. We understand from these words. 2 households, both alike in dignity, in fair Verona, where we lay our scene. From ancient grudge break to new mutiny, where civil blood makes civil hands unclean. From forth the fatal loins of these 2 foes, a pair of star-crossed lovers take their life, whose misadventured piteous overthrows doth with their death bury their parents' strife. The fearful passage of their death-marked love, and the continuance of their parents' rage, which but their children's end naught could remove, is now the 2 hours' traffic of our stage, the which, if you with patient ears attend, what here shall miss, our toil shall strive to mend. And chorus exits. This is the starting of the play, which is very effective. Uh, Summarizes the play, saying that, it, hey, this is gonna take 2 hours, and the story is about a pair of star-crossed lovers take their life, and their death bury their parents' strife. Well, I find it very impressive, an impressive way of using the chorus. And this book I downloaded on the internet at Folger Shakespeare uh, page. The address is shakespeare.folger.edu. So you can also download and read it. I really recommend you to read it. It's really impressive. And I know I have talked a lot, but uh, I want to talk about the themes. So of course, the main theme is the abiding quality of romantic love. 2 very young people, Juliet 13 or 14 and Romeo probably 17 or 18, and violence plays an important role. Mercutio is killed, Tybalt is killed, Paris is killed, and 2 lovers commit a suicide. And the overarching power of patriarchy, the feudal system, and the theme of death. There are five deaths in this play. Marriage, of course, and I want to finalize my words with some lines from the play. When Romeo first sees Juliet, Romeo, I've never saw true beauty till this night. And the line of Capulet that we understand he's a dominant guy. He says to Tybalt, "Am I the master here, or you?" So when Romeo finds out that Juliet is a Capulet, Romeo, is she a Capulet? My life is my foe's death. And when Juliet finds out that he is a Montague, my only love sprung from my only hate. And under the balcony of Juliet, Romeo looks at the window and sees some light and says that it is the east, Juliet is the sun. So it's isn't it so romantic, and I really like these lines. uh, Juliet, deny your father, refuse your name, and if you won't, I will do it. And in turn, Romeo says, call me but love, I will be new baptized. I never will be Romeo. So two lovers are ready to forget their family's name because it keeps them as an enemy. So they are ready to forget that they are enemies. Friar, these violent delights have violent ends. If you have watched the TV series Westworld, I think this line was there as well. And Romeo, when he is banished, when he is told to leave the city, he says, "Heaven is here, where Juliet lives." So he means that uh, all other places are hell to me. And I think that's enough. Thank you very much if you have watched this video so far. I highly recommend Romeo and Juliet by Shakespeare. And thank you.